Hello everyone, and welcome to the second module for the HandCash Connect SDK. In this module, we'll be covering installation, authentication, and we'll be taking a look at some user profile functions. To get started, let's begin by installing the SDK. Copy the command from the documentation to install the npm package into the same folder as your project. If you're not using Node.js for your project, you can still use the API, but you'll have to either find a wrapper or create your own using the same HTTP calls found in the SDK itself. Once the SDK is installed, we can get started with programming some basic functions to get our authentication set up and running. Today I'm going to be showing off 4 different routes. That'll be the index route for the login link, the authentication route, the get current user route, and the get friends route. Right now I'm demonstrating each of the first 3 routes. In just a second, we'll take a look under the hood and take a look at that last friends route as well. Starting off with the get login link function, you can see it's a very simple function where I fetch the redirect URL from the HandCash SDK and I serve that to the user through an HTTP page. Clicking this link will redirect you to the HandCash wallet. In this case, I'm using the HandCash web wallet. The user will be given 2 options, authorize or decline. When the user clicks authorize, I redirect them to my authorize route, which runs the get authorized function. In this function, I'm running a series of commands to register the user successfully to my database. To start, I fetch the cloud account from the SDK using the auth token provided. The auth token is provided as a query parameter when the GET request is made to your server. Now that we've initialized the cloud account, we can fetch some data about the user. Starting off with public profile, we can get the user's Connect ID. This will help us register the user to the database in a unique way, so if they log in again, we can remember who they are. Now that we have the ID, I'm going to check in my database if the user already exists. If they do exist, we're going to update the auth token. If they don't exist, we're going to create a new user and register the auth token to that user. Next, I'm saving the user to my database and then generating a JWT token and serving it to them through a session. Now, I'm using Express and I'm using a session to store the user authorization on the client side. However, in your case, you might want to use something different. I'm also using MongoDB as my database. Again, you're free to use any database you'd like. This is just an example for my current app. Now that I've stored the authorization on the client side, I'm going to redirect the user to the profile page. Next, we'll take a look at the profile function. In the profile function, you'll notice I'm fetching a lot of information about the user. This is all information that I'm collecting from the SDK and displaying within my app for demonstrative purposes. Information includes public profile, private profile, spendable balance, and permissions. It's important to note that as Connect expands, there may be more functions than are displayed in these videos. However, I'm currently showing off all the functions that are available now. To finish off this module, I'll show you the last route. This is the Get Friends route. Using the SDK, I'm able to fetch an entire friends list from the user and display profile picture, handle, display name, and local currency code. I hope you enjoyed this module and that you now have Connect integrated into your application. Now we can get started with some fun functions, including sending simple payments and simple payments to multiple recipients.